Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. So, not very wildernessy I hear you say. Well, I've just stopped off at my favourite establishment, Morrison's, on the docks in Preston if anybody wants to know. And now I am going to start the engine and head over to the Yorkshire where I've tried to go the last 2 times and broken down in the Land Rover. So wish me luck. I'll bring you back throughout the journey and let you know what's going on and how we're performing. So I'm about 35 miles away from the woods. Happy to report no mishaps as of yet. It's running absolutely sweet and I have been giving it some. I've been driving it a little bit harder than what I usually drive it. Keeping an eye on all my gauges. Everything seems to be as it should. So I'll fetch you back if anything bad happens or when I get to the woods. Right, my friends, as you can see, we made it into the woods. Land Rover's just behind me. I'll get out of shot so you can see her. Looking all pretty there, parked in a little place. Lee has been down and lit the fire for me, so I've not been here for hours and hours and I've burnt all that wood. Lee's been down, lit the fire for me. Brilliant lad, brilliant lads. Thank you very much, mate. He's been clearing away. Yeah, I'll flick the camera around and show you what he's been doing. So this is our place where we put the wood ready to burn. Well, he's been sweeping the ground again in the woods. You can see it there. Pulled all that out. That's ready for burning. And he's asked me to start going through this if I want. Now, I am going to have to be a little bit quick because I don't know if you're going to be able to see through the trees because the camera compensates for everything. But the sun is all but gone down. So I got to get a wriggle on. I've got to turn some lights on around the Land Rover, stoke up the fire and start preparing for the night. I have got the woods to myself tonight. Nobody else here, although Lee has been here. And the lads are arriving by 11 o'clock, Lee said, tomorrow. So yeah, I'll be having company tomorrow morning. So first part of my mission is accomplished. Get the Land Rover here with no hiccups. And as I said in the car before, I did drive her a little bit harder than what I usually drive her, just to iron out or make any problems emerge. And thankfully, nothing at all. Seems a little bit better on fuel. A lot more mid-range power. There's no problems pulling up hills. I can keep up with small cars now, which I never could before. But it's probably because I don't drive her hard. But yeah, whereas before little cars from traffic lights will pull away from me, I can keep up with them, which is a luxury. You're getting a little bit of a better feel of how dark it is already. And it's only 10 to 7 in the evening. Have done the fire like I said I would. Let's see if I can do that. There's the fire just behind me. Stoked it up. Took it a while to get going because they were down to embers. Turned the lights on the back of the landing. That's as far as I've got. I've not eaten yet. I can't decide what to have. I might rummage through the MREs in the back of the landing and just make myself an easy MRE in the back of the truck while I'm watching some YouTubes. Right guys, you've just caught me pulling out the contents of my cupboards and just sorting some stuff out. I have chosen some MREs. I've got here a chicken and mushroom pasta. Let me get my bins on and I'll tell you when it went out of date. Turn the light up a little bit. I'm sorry if it's quite annoying. Best before end of Feb 2021. We're now in October of 24. So this could end badly. This is a tomato pasta salad. So you can see a theme here. I'm going for pasta tonight. Best before end 12/22. It's a bit better than the last one. And this is a fruit cocktail in a light syrup. Don't usually eat much sweet stuff, but balls to it. We're in the woods, we're having a good time. And I can't quite see that. 2012. Goodness gracious me. That might make me sick. But we'll try it, and if it tastes funny, we'll put it in the bin. So yeah, going back to what I was saying, my objective here is just to open the cupboards. Let's just open this one up like this as well. Pull everything out, because when I'm driving, there's stuff clattering about in here, and it's proper annoying. So I just want to move it in such a fashion that it wedges everything in. And while I'm in there, I'm going to get my jet boil out and get a pan out just so I can boil some water for these MREs. Have them slightly warm. I mean, one of them's got chicken in, so I'm going to have to boil the crap out of that. But also on here, I've got some citronella candles, because every time we come to this woods, we get bits of bits. But it is October, so my faith's quite high. There's not that many bugs, but I'm going to light a citronella candle in the truck anyway, just to get some citronella vapours in here. It smells nice, won't it, at the end of the day? And yeah, not that cold tonight. I think it's 17 degrees. The thermometer is saying, yeah, 17 degrees outside. Right, guys, I almost forgot. I'm halfway through this one. Did a bit of a faux pas, though. I put this one on to heat up, and I'm not sure you're meant to heat up tomato pasta salad. Salad you're meant to eat cold, right? I mean, somebody correct me in the comments below if I'm wrong. But I put this in the water just as I poured the water. I thought, no, hold on, you're not meant to heat up salad. You're meant to eat that one cold. So I pulled this one out, put that one into boil, went and stoked up the fire, came back and started eating this. But yeah, it's quite nice. I've not had a bad ration pack yet. Sorted out the cupboard behind the camera. Sorted out my door pocket thing. My cam cover door pocket thing. Yeah, just generally just done a little bit of housekeeping. Sat here thinking to myself like you do. Not going to think to anybody else, are you? But yeah. I ran the Land Rover once I'd fixed it, just to give you a bit of backstory. Just around locally. Took it to work a couple of times, parked up in the barn, tinkered with it, got back in it, drove it for a bit. So last time I looked at my odometer, filled it on, it's now Friday, and I filled it up Tuesday this week because I found cheap fuel. And since filling it up, last time I checked it was on about 125. I reset my clock every time I fill it up. So I've done about 125 miles since filling it, and then probably another 30 miles maybe just going to and from work, running it round, checking it. Door to woodland, my front door to this woodland is 89 miles. So by the time I get home, my odometer will be reading over 200 miles plus the 25-30 miles that I've already done. So it's safe to say, I think we've cracked it and she's fixed. Not that she's ever going to be fixed, because she has her little quirks, let's just say. Oh yeah, I miss eating. But yeah, she's got a ton of quirks. And I will get round to fixing them all one by one. And it'll be like painting the fourth bridge. Once you're finished, the things I originally fixed will start breaking and I'll have to start fixing them again. But yeah, I mean, fixing the turbo and driving it has given me a little bit of confidence to tackle a few more bits. But I'm not going to do any of that just yet. But yeah, I've stopped eating, so I'm going to have another spoonful on camera. It really is good. And again, this was a tomato pasta salad. Pasta in tomato sauce and basil sauce. That's how it says it just there. And that one was the chicken and mushroom pasta. Mushroom in creamy sauce with pasta and chicken. Read that upside down. But yeah, I am waffling like mad. I've missed you guys. I've missed these videos. The last couple of times I've tried to do these videos and I've had all this stuff in my mind, I've broken down on the way here or on the way home, and it's completely thrown me, if you know what I'm saying. Worrying about other stuff. And you forget what you set out to do because you've got other crap on your mind. But yeah, let me go and eat, because it's rude to eat with your mouth full. Let me go, because I'm not setting any good examples here. Wanted to bring you back because I'm having problems processing what I just ate. So look, I'm going to show you the front of it. It's all gone. All that's left is the syrup. I'm hoping the camera's going to pick that up. It's really hard to see the date on the bottom of it. even with your eye, let alone with a camera. It's got a couple of different dates on it, but it says best before end 12/12, and I'm absolutely positive that says 2014. So I just ate fruit cocktail that's 10 years out of date. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you this without getting syrup everywhere. I have eaten all the fruit. All that's left in there is syrup. And it were right. It tasted all right. It didn't taste rancid. It didn't... Obviously, I sniffed it first. The chicken mushroom pasta, however, I had probably half of it. And I don't know, it was a little bit suspect. I didn't trust the chicken, if I'm honest. But the fruit cocktail was good. I don't know whether to drink this juice or not. It's a bit sweet. Might keep me up all night is what I'm saying. I mean, I've eaten all the fruit that was in it, so I'm not worried it's going to upset my stomach or anything. But yeah, it's just, I'm having problems processing it, how I can eat something 10 years out of date. And I know people, even on YouTube, excuse me, have eaten ration packs like from World War II or maybe even World War I, when they used to come in a little tin. And it just, how does it, what are they putting in this stuff to keep it fresh for so long? It's really kind of sat here with back door open, just thinking and driving myself insane thinking about it. I'm overthinking. I'm in one of them moods where I'm overthinking everything. Anyway, guys, again, for reals is this time. I'm off. I'll see you in the morning. Good morning, everybody. Been awake on and off most of the night. It was about 3 o'clock by the time I got to sleep last night. It was a very, very late one. Put Grand Tour on again just to watch that last episode, and then left it on, play all the episodes basically, so it was looping. And yeah, I watched a fair few of them, and last time I looked at the clock it was like 3:45 or something ridiculous. So I turned everything off, and yeah, fell asleep, woke up, fell asleep, woke up, fell asleep, woke up. Well, it's just before 10 o'clock now in the morning. It's not really cold enough for the diesel heater, but I thought good opportunity to test it. Don't want to get up to Scotland and find out it doesn't work because there's a fault. So I mean, it's 12 degrees in the vehicle, don't really need it, but I thought I'd give it a quick test anyway. May as well test everything while I'm here. It's going to be probably the last time I'm out before I go away. So give it 10 minutes for the vehicle to warm up, a bit more rather, and I'll get up, get dressed, make a coffee, set up my kitchen. I didn't set it up last night as it was going dark, as you saw, and wait for the lads to arrive. Should be here between 10 and 11, so yeah, maybe go and get the campfire started and start the day. Hopefully I will do quite a bit of recording today. I'm going to try and get on it and show you what goes on around camp a little bit more. I asked the question last night on one of the comments on the video that came out yesterday. Maybe a more non-PC, not necessarily PC, but I'm very conscious that I don't swear on my channel at all. Maybe a behind the scenes Patreon page. Would you guys be interested in that? Leave me a comment. I've always been kind of conscious about starting a Patreon because it's taking money off your everyday working man, which I've never been into. But if somebody's interested in, you know, a more 18 rated, where I do use the odd swear word and it's more behind the scenes and you see a bit more stuff about what's going on. You know, when I'm actually repairing the vehicle, you'd actually see the repairs rather than, you know, I'd take a bit more time filming and stuff. Yeah, let me know. It's just an initial thought. I'm not even saying I'm going to do it, even if there's 30 yeses or whatever. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on that matter, because I'd be interested to see what you guys think. Obviously, dropping to part-time recently. Every little helps. Any money I can pull in a little bit more. So if you guys were willing to I don't know, £2.50 a month or something, just spitballing here, £2.50 a month for a behind the scenes, me doing dodgy wiring and crap like that. Let me know what you think anyway. And on that note, I'll get up, I think. So guys, it's a little bit later than 10 o'clock now. We're now on 20 to 1. Just put kettle on because Andy's on his way. Muskie's over there doing some chainsawing, and Lee's just tidying up that pile that I showed you earlier on in the video. We're just burning a load of scrap wood, but I'm a little bit sweaty. We've been, yeah.
Does the t-shirt make the belly look big?
Does his belly look big again? But yeah, fire's on, just stoking it up. I lit that off the embers of yesterday. But yeah, we've just continued tidying this corner just here. I don't know if you can see that behind me. And we're leaving first thing tomorrow morning. But yeah, not much going down. Not eaten yet, so I've not brought you back for that. Landy's just chilling. As it does, I've not even opened the awning this time. It has given rain for early hours tomorrow morning, so I don't want to be packing the awning away wet, basically, so I haven't put it out. But yeah, that's how she looks at the moment. Can you see that? So guys, breakfast is on. Cheesy scrambled egg with a bit of cayenne pepper and salt. And over here we have bacon and black pudding for those who like it. And just over there on top of pallets, just in the distance over there, I've got some bread rolls, bread cakes, barm cakes, whatever you want to call them, whatever part of the country. We're not discriminatory on this channel towards bread cakes and bread rolls. But yeah, in other news, Andy's arrived. He's not feeling so hot, so just going to take it easy with him a little bit. Yeah, but breakfast's almost ready, just waiting for Muskie to get back. He's just taking his car outside the woods, which is where he'll stay tonight. And yeah, then I can dish up, get everybody's food. Well guys, that went down nice. Everybody enjoyed that. I wasn't sure how those eggs were going to turn out because I melted some blue cheese in it. So yeah, a little bit of an experiment, but everybody seemed to enjoy it. Everybody finished it, so happy days. Crack on now, do a few more little jobs while we still got daylight. So everybody, wood chopping done. We've got a big pile of wood here. I'll turn the camera around so you can see it. There you go, big pile of wood just here. Andy just sat next to wood there.
The Illuminati pyramid we're building.
Yeah, that's it. We got that going there. Fire's gone quite puny just there. And I don't know if you remember this from a couple of weeks ago, but we switched positions. A couple of weeks ago, Andy was messing with rope, and now Muskie's messing with rope. And there is absolutely tons of it. Can you see it reel just over there? And it goes all the way down there. I don't know if you're going to pick that up on camera. It goes over there. So I think this is Muskie playing with rope for...
He's making the world's biggest yo-yo.
I don't know if you heard that on microphone, but Andy just said he's making the world's biggest yo-yo. Guinness Book of Records.
You have to climb up a tree.
Yeah, and yo it. I think you're going to have to go up in a plane to yo-yo that. Anyway guys, not much going on. We're just chilling, shooting shit around the fire, so I'll fetch you back in a little while. It's getting to that time of year where it starts going dark really quick. So I'm just squaring everything away, i.e. the kitchen, because I've not put my awning out. Didn't deploy the awning this time, so I'm just squaring my kitchen away, putting everything back in the cupboard. Just so if it does rain tomorrow, everything A, doesn't get wet, and B, I'm not packing stuff away in the wet. So yeah, just locking stuff down dead quick. Because I think it's going to be an early dark tomorrow. I might get up, I might make a brew, I might not, but I can always get it back out if it hasn't rained. It's no biggie. I can stop off at services on the way home and pick up a brew, it's no biggie. And I guarantee one of the other lads will be boiling the kettle, so I can always steal some water off somebody. If I could get my key in the old one hand, that would be handy. There you go. So just lock this down and square the kitchen away. Well, the back's been open all day. There's no mozzies this time in the wood, which is nice. But yeah, square all that away tomorrow when I'm leaving. Obviously I can do that inside, so none of that's going to get wet. But yeah, we've just been chatting about crap like you do around campfire. Everybody's off just preparing for tea and stuff and just getting some stuff squared away. Right, good evening folks. What time is it? Let's check the time. Just coming up to 11 PM, 5 minutes to 11 it is. that's where we're up to. We burnt a bit more wood. We had a marvellous tea cooked by Muskie, as always. The guy is a culinary genius. He cooked us a beef stew tonight with mashed potato, and then for dessert he did a cake with custard, like a sponge cake with custard. Absolutely delicious. It hit the spot. It was perfect. Everybody's just turned in, so yeah, time to get some rest. Get up in the morning and decide if we're having a coffee or having some breakfast before we trek home. I might go home via the motorway tomorrow, so there won't be no filming, because I'll be yeah, just testing the old girl again. I want to test her at a constant speed instead of going up and down the rev range and the gears, going along the back roads, which is how I came here. But yeah, I'll fetch you back in the morning. We'll see how we sleep tonight. Hopefully we'll sleep a lot better tonight, because it was rough last night. And yeah, see how we get on. Good morning, everybody. Plans today: get up, see what the lad's doing. If we're going to have a brew together, we'll have a quick brew, and then we are going to head back, like I mentioned yesterday, over the M62. Plans are, when I get back, I'm going to go straight to the barn and continue filming, show you a few bits right at the end of this video that I've repaired and updated, mainly in the cab area. But yeah, been awake about 45 minutes, catched up on some YouTube, and I can say I'm kind of awake. But yeah, time to get up, get everything squared away, tidied away. But yeah, I'll fetch you back at the end of the video and we can have a quick sit down. I'll tell you what I've repaired. There's been a few little repairs, tell you what I've got left to do, which is probably going to happen tomorrow, which is Monday. And yeah, show you a couple of little upgrades that I fitted. Right, everybody, I have a little confession to make. It's the day after the day I got here, so it's Monday. I got here yesterday around 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Trouble free, even though the bonnet's up. It's just for a couple of minor repairs, if you want to call them, maintenance things. My washer pump, my windscreen washer pump stopped working, and under closer observation I found out that it snapped off one of the connections. So I've got my connections out on my crimping tool just here. Hopefully you can see that just in the corner of the screen there. So I'm just going to put a new connection on it, make sure that's all working, top up the windscreen washer bottle, because when I was doing the turbo I knocked the pump out and all the water came out. So that's a quick job I need to do. Should have done that before I left really, but thankfully I didn't need my windscreen washers. I have some speed clips in the car. I need to fasten my passenger side sun visor up. One of the screws isn't quite catching a thread, so I'm going to put a speed clip on it and run a screw for a speed clip. In other news, I did end up ordering a fridge. So earlier on in the video, probably 10 minutes ago in the video, I was toying with the idea of getting a smaller fridge. Well, I ordered it and it's arrived today. It's arrived since I've been here, so I need to nip home, pick that up and come and see how I'm going to fit that in. So I'm going to quickly crack on, get these few little maintenance jobs done, and then pop home, pick up the fridge, bring it back and fit that. Right, so I've done the few little fixes on the Land Rover. Windscreen washers now work, speed clips are in place. Fantastic news. I've also nipped home and picked up a couple of boxes. These are little tea light holders. I'll get them out and show you, and then let's see if I can get that out of shot. That's the difference in fridges. Now bear in mind that one is still in the box, that one there, still in the box, so it's going to be much smaller when I get it out of the box with all the padding and stuff. But already you can see there's a massive difference. So I don't know if you'll be able to pick them out earlier on in the video. What I usually do with tea lights is I have a little shallow cheesecake jar. You can buy cheesecakes in the supermarket in a tiny shallow jar, and I usually put them in that. But obviously the flame is exposed, and inside the Land Rover, very tight space, when I've got all my bedding out and stuff, it is a fire hazard, and I was very aware of that. So I bought these little beauties. I mean, they're only tiny. It's probably, I don't know, 2/3 the height of my mobile phone, so it keeps the flame enclosed, so a lot safer, and also it'll heat up the metal and give off a little bit of ambient heat. Now, I haven't got round to unboxing the fridge yet, but I have undone the top there, you can see that. So we'll quickly take this off on camera, and I'll quickly whip it out and stand it on top of the other fridge, and we can get some sort of feel of the size difference. So before the comments start, I know this is a Snowmaster and this is an LP Cool, and there is a difference in quality. I bought this probably about 5 years ago. You can trace back on the channel when I got it, and it was considerably more expensive than the LP Cool. If I get 2, maybe 3 years out of the LP Cool, I'll be very, very happy. I mainly went for it because of the size. Has got a couple of little features on it, like a USB port on the top, so I can charge stuff off it, and it has got Bluetooth on it, so I can control it via my phone, via an app, which the Snowmaster doesn't. Snowmaster is, I mean, you can see the footprint there. Yeah, if I go out a little bit more, it is considerably bigger. But as I was just saying to the lady that owns the barn, I bought the Snowmaster 5 years ago-ish, when I used to drink. I don't drink anymore. I'm completely teetotal. So I used to store 8, 12 cans of Guinness in it, as well as my food when I went away. Don't have that need anymore. If I have 4 cans of water in it, as I get through them, I'll just top it up with more water and food. But yeah, it's 20 litres. It has got the ice tray in it. Let's see if I can get you a down shot. So I think it will be ample big enough. I can stand my litre bottle of milk in there as well. And I am going to be shopping every couple of days when I'm up in Scotland. So every 2 to 3 days I am going to be topping it up. So it's only to store 2 to 3 days. And then when I'm camping at weekends, it is literally 3-day weekends. It's long weekends. So I think a 20 litre will be more than enough space. But time will tell, and it didn't break the bank. I think I paid about £150. I did pay for it full price, not sponsored by either of these companies. But as I say, I don't expect it to last as long or be as completely efficient as the Snowmaster. I am under no pretense that it's not going to be as good. I just need it to do a job. And I'm more interested in the size sort of thing because I'm going away for so long. I need to have more space in the vehicle just for storing stuff, camera equipment, clothes, towels. There's going to be a couple of, at least 2 pairs, maybe 3 pairs of shoes, because I am taking my wet shoes with me as well, so we can go and dunk in some rivers. So yeah, I'm very conscious about making this stay as comfortable as possible. Right, now just off camera, I am going to have a bit of a faff with it, see if I can fit it securely in the vehicle, and I will fetch you back shortly when it's in and we can see what kind of space I've gained. What a glorious day today. Fridge is installed. Apart from a bungee where I'm going to run over the top of it to stop it jumping about if I'm on corrugated or bumpy roads, it's in. I'll spin the camera around and give you a quick reveal because the amount of space saving is unbelievable. There you go, can you see that? Whereas the last one came right to the edge there and it was pushed right to the edge of the wood just there. It's taken up hardly any space and it was a lot taller. I could only just fit my camera bag on top. So now even I can get my Blue Yeti in the side there, which was the problem I had with my other one. I couldn't get my Blue Yeti. So I've got my Anker power bank there. You can just see the back of it. Now I can take my Blue Yeti on the trip if I so choose. I don't think I'm going to, but I'm going to dwell on it for a few days. It's come down to temperature really, really quick. Really, really happy with it. It's already on 2 degrees. I did take the food out of my my Snowmaster that I had left over from the weekend and I put it in this fridge, so that'll give it an extra little bit of boost because it's already got coal things in there. Just got to get the content of the Land Rover back in, check the battery, download the app, sync the app to my phone, and then I can see exactly what it's doing. Now let's shut this. You've seen all the updates I've given you the last few days, but I've got a few more to show you. Let me grab my keys out the back door because I've left them just there. So the back is as was, apart from being a lot tidier. I've done no updates there. Wow, you should see the fridge from this side. Let me flip the camera around again. Absolutely tiny. It's just over the height of my counter. That's absolutely perfect. I've gained so much space there. Could probably put the Anker on top of it now when I'm charging stuff and I'm not wanting to get in and out of the fridge in the night. But let me show you a few other upgrades I've done while we've got the camera facing this way. So I took both mud flaps off the other week. I gave them a coat of paint, even though badly. I am going to buy new mounts for my mud flaps when I get back and probably replace them for stainless steel. But they were on a little bit cockeyed. One was leaning in and one was leaning out. Took them out, measured the spacing and put them on square. Even though they're leaning up just a little tiny bit, they're now square that way, if you know what I mean. One of them, the passenger side one over there, had come loose, so I've retightened them all in. The other big upgrades, let me flick this round, are in the cockpit. I call it the cockpit, but you know what I mean. So I'll quickly get in and show you a few mods that I've done in here. Right, okay, so First off, you know the problems I've had with my turbo the last few days. As a preventative, I wanted to put in a few gauges just to make sure it doesn't happen again, and I can monitor it if anything does go wrong. So first of the gauges I ordered from this lovely company just here. I've not put sticker on yet because I'm a little bit funny about putting stickers on my car. But Forby, Neil over there, is an absolute diamond. He got it out to me quick time, and we fitted the EGT gauge, which I'll spin round and I'll try and show you now. So it might be a bit flickery. Obviously the vehicle's not started, so it's not working at the moment, but that's your EGT gauge just there. What the EGT gauge does is when you're driving, it monitors your exhaust gas temperatures. Oh, that lighting's terrible. Now what I'm led to believe is for a 300 TDI, that EGT gauge mustn't go above 700. Now if you ease off, if you're booting it up a hill, like a long sweeping hill, and you're in 5th gear and you're giving it death, that will creep up. To get it down, you just ease off the accelerator. It's the exhaust gas temperatures, it's instant. It's not like your temperature gauge in the car that takes a few minutes. Now when I'm driving normally, when I say normally, doing about 60 on the motorway, it's nice and flat. It kind of averages around 300, 350, maybe up to 400 if I'm accelerating to overtake, but that's where it seems to settle. The only time it goes above 450 is when I'm actually accelerating to get past trucks or wagons, or I'm going up a hill. But yeah, marvellous addition. Lets me monitor my engine a little bit better, lets me know I'm not doing much damage. And when you've tweaked your fuel pump and put your boost pins in and your boost rings, and you've kind of fettled with your with your fuel system and your turbos, it's a massive recommendation. Everybody who's done them mods has got an EGT gauge, so it's about time I got one. Very easy to install. Got the kit from Forby. It was about 75 quid, 80 quid, I can't remember the exact price. Paid full price. But yeah, absolutely must upgrade. Now the other upgrade, let us give you a quick spin round and I'll explain how I've wired this in. So here we've got the fuel gauge, here we've got your temperature gauge, and here we've got another gauge that used to be a voltage gauge. Now my voltage gauge, let's see if I can get it in shot, is on this switch here. It's not always on, but if I switch that on, this gauge is going to come on and tell me I've got 12 volts in my battery. So that's my voltage gauge. I fitted that when I first got the vehicle, and I got the who made this? My mind's gone blank. The Raptor Engineering double DIN unit. So I fitted this. So I had another voltage gauge, an analog one, just here. So I took that out and I replaced it with this. Now the way I've wired it in is I've wired it in on my light switch, because I'm an absolute bugger for leaving my lights on. So I thought, well, if my boost gauge is on, I know I've left my lights on. So I've wired it into my lights, and there it is, reading -1. The vehicle's not started. It is only a cheap one, so there is a little bit of a variation there, I think. But when I'm proper flooring it uphill, 5th gear, and my turbo's wide open doing what it should, it reads 15 psi. And when I'm just ticking over, it's -1 to 0 depending on the temperature of the engine. But yeah, a couple of really nice little upgrades that I've done since fitting the turbo and everything. Now I'll just get out, lift up the bonnet, show you a couple of other little things that I didn't cover in the last video. Right, so we've got an aftermarket, it's just an eBay special, aftermarket carbon fibre, big airflow air filter. Now when you get this, it comes with like a bladed fan inside the pipe. I took that out because I thought if that comes loose and gets sucked in, there goes another bloody turbo. So I took that out, and it's just a straight through air filter. It does give a little bit more noise out than the standard air filter, but it also lets a lot more air through. So what benefits I've got from my larger intercooler, i.e. fuel saving wise, I've probably lost through the bigger air filter because it's giving it a lot more air. But that doesn't bother me. As long as I've got the power to get up hills, etc., I'm happy. Just down here is where your EGR valve should go. Can you see that? Well, that probe there goes up and around the engine bay and fishes in where your speedo cable goes in, just up over there, and that's your EGT gauge probe. So you don't have to drill any holes, there's no tapping. You buy all this stuff from Forby UK, from Neil over there, and it comes as a complete kit. You can buy it as a complete kit. Just on the back of the bulkhead there, next to the fuel filter, that little black thing is the control unit for the turbo. It's a separate control unit, and it was an absolute bitch to fit. Absolutely hated fitting that thing, but it's in and it's kind of working as best it can, and I'm happy with it. To be fair, I could probably buy a more expensive gauge and go through the rigmarole of changing it, but I'm happy with it at the moment. Other little mods, I put another relay on there, and I'm carrying a spare relay too. That relay controls the electric fan. It is a Ken Low, just there. You can see the back of it. It's a huge one. When it fires up, you really do see the voltage drop on the voltage meter in the car. But the problem I had is because my engine sits so far back, I have mentioned it before, if you look at the space between this air filter on this vehicle, on a 300 TDI, it's meant to run round the vehicle and be situated over there. But that hasn't got enough room to run round the back of the engine. So it sits just there, which is where a 200 TDI incidentally fits. But because the engine sits so far back up against the bulkhead, my viscous fan was ending there. So I had this massive gap between there and there for the viscous fan to cool the engine. So I've done away with the viscous fan, probably gained about 3 or 4 horsepower with getting rid of that, and I fitted that. Now it's on a switch, so I do have to be mindful of my temperature when I'm going up long hills or where I'm working the motor. So I do have to be mindful and keep an eye on that temperature gauge. But the switch is just the far left one on the side of my dash. Now I'm not going to start it because the vehicle's not started, but it's this switch just here, and it even says, see if I can get a good angle, it even says, I don't know if you can see that, it says fan on it. So it's very clear as to what it does. But yeah, fantastic, few little mods ready for the Scotland trip. Now plans are to pop out here next weekend when I'm off and give you a loadout video. So if you'd like to see a loadout video, please do leave in the comments below. I'll give you a little view of what I'm taking, and yeah, the following Friday we're on the road. So it does look like I am going to go with Andy. He doesn't know if he's going to be able to do the full duration, but we'll see. If I go on my own, I go on my own. I'm not bothered. I'm not falling out with anybody. I have said it to him as well. You know, it's not a problem if you can't come. You've got other priorities, and I completely respect that and appreciate that. If he does come, fantastic, because he's done it a few times before, so he knows a few little diamond hotspots. But yeah, we will see. We will see nearer the time. But yeah, loadout video next weekend, and then the week after that, we're hitting the road. Might be out in the Land Rover again next Friday night. Just waiting for Leon to confirm. In fact, if I am out, you'll be watching this video when I'm out. We're going somewhere local, a little hard standing car park next to a huge woodland. Not going to give the location away. But yeah, we'll be there just for the Friday night. He's going to try car camping in the back of his new estate vehicle. So that's going to be a first for him, but we're taking a Land Rover so he doesn't have to take any cooking things. And if the weather's a bit shit, we're going to have the awning out and he can park his estate Mercedes underneath the awning. But that's enough jibber jabbering. I'm going to have to leave this video here because the camera has just flashed up. I've got very little battery left. So I'm just going to store everything back in the Land Rover, download the necessary apps for the fridge, run that bungee over the top. It's just going to clip into my little D-rings that I've got there. Nice and simple. And we'll see how that goes. Oh, I need to put that fridge somewhere as well. If anybody wants a Snowmaster, give me a shout. We can discuss a price and stuff. Had very little use, very low mileage. One careful lady owner. I'll even put my hair down so you can see I'm a lady. Anyway, folks, enough jabbering. I'm going a bit delusional. I need some food and I need some water. Hope you're all well. Love to you all, and I'll speak to you very, very soon.